23 عزديق ناحية 8 ابراهيم دياز رقم 10 واسماعيل السيبري الهداف رقم 11 المستجد في تشكيلة المنتخب المغربي كما كان متوقعا. هنا لدينا رضوان حلحال سيعاود شادي رياض التي تعرض بالمناسبة للإصابة في المباراة المرهقة والمتعبة والبطولية والملحمية، سموها ما شئتم، لكن هي مباراة ستبقى في الذاكرة ومباراة للتاريخ لمن جاءت أمام منتخب أوروبي كبير وهولندا. نعم، أبليتم البلاء الحسن وكنتم أبطال وكنتم شرسون وكنتم بحق أسودا زهرت في الوقت المناسب وأبطال ظهرت في اللحظات الحاسمة. هي لحظات تحكى وتروى وننتظر منكم المزيد لتكتبوا سطرا آخر في كتاب المونديال وتألق المغرب في المونديال من انتصار إلى انتصار. سيروا على بركة الله. الجمهور بل الملايين هناك في المغرب من طنجة العالية إلى الكويرة العزيزة وكل بقاع العالم وكل من يحضر هنا في هيوستن يؤازركم ويساندكم وخلفكم من أجل تحقيق انتصار جديد تعبرون به إن شاء الله إلى دور ربع النهائي، محطة بمحطة ومباراة بمباراة. الفكر يوابي اليوم من أجل تقديم أداء كبير مقرون بانتصار منتظر إن شاء الله. تعطى ضربة البداية. نعم، اليوم المنتخب المغربي بالقميص الأبيض في مواجهة دور الثمن النهائي. تعودنا نشاهد المغرب في الأدوار الإقصائية مشاهدينا الكرام، هو يحضر في دور الثمن النهائي لأول مرة في نهائيات كأس العالم. لدينا دور 32 عبر به بسلام المنتخب المغربي بالشق الأنفس، لكن مباراة مع كما في 86 وكانت خير بعد الانتصار التاريخي امام المنتخب الهولندي، لكن مجددا كعبية على اليسار. لاريا يتقدم، لاريا نزلت الأدوية الكرة، لاريا يحاول، لاريا الكرة طارت مباشرة. الحكم مايكل أوليفير يشير إلى أول ركنية لفائدة المنتخب الكندي.
The second bite of the cherry wins the corner off Diaz. Eustáquio's out there, early opportunity for Canada to show the set piece prowess. Eustáquio last week scoring his 5th goal for his country. This is Eustáquio's 61st appearance for Canada. Cafujarol and Bombito both forward from the back just by the penalty spot here, waiting for this delivery. The eye of Michael Oliver is on those two defenders. Is whipped into the front post. Bono punches away. Ali Ahmed, the former Whitecaps man, in for the Cafujarol. And Bono comes out of the spot. It's behind him on the corner, and this is a front post from David's going to get onto it quicker though. He lets it skip off the turf. Could he have threw his head at that? I thought a diving header was the best way to go at that. Meet it early as it skips off the turf. It ends up going a little wide, and Bono does well to get a hand to it as he's flashed it across, but that was a bigger opportunity maybe than Jonathan David and Canada made of it. Eustáquio here with Canada's second corner of the game. Good distance on the header away there as it's picked up by Nico Serger. And Tejan Buchanan was trying to reach it. It's gone out for a third corner in quick succession here. It's good stuff. I like Nico Serger's decision here just to put it back in behind. Halal comes over, makes a sliding challenge. Buchanan was getting onto it. Eustáquio now comes over to the near side to put in an outswinger. Sorry. His first two deliveries have really caused some problems. The first, the other one cleared as well, but excellent set-piece deliveries from the man from Leamington, Ontario. Yeah, lots of pace on them, nice and flat. He'll need the same again here with this outswinger probably petting round about the penalty spot. This time towards Defuzral at the front post. Defuzral still in there. Jonathan David trying to get back there. Watches away. Drops down for Ali Ahmed. Now Stafford in space. The chance to roll it forward for Defuzral. Defuzral double team there. And as Ryan was back defending, so was Amari, but Canada able to keep the pressure on here as Kirkall wants to get it back forward for a red. I love the start. Excellent decision making by the Canadian players. They were just a bit slow there with a header from Johnson. Huge header. And the referee allows them to continue here. So going the battle there in the midfield, along with Gouadi and Leo now. And the referee will now Baltic should be stopped. Morocco should put it out as the head knock to Azzedine Ounahi. It was a full bloody challenge from him.
They maintain possession. That one is a little bit different, but this is emphasizing the pressure that Canada has put on here in the opening minutes of this one. It's been an impressive start for them.
I've seen Bono there, who was born in Montreal. He could have actually played for Canada at one point, but he chose to represent Morocco, the country that he grew up in. And what a good keeper he is, by the way. 90 good kick for Yassine Bono today. There's Dion, winning only his 8th. The Fulham man.
Oh, when the red! Oh, when the
That's right.
Go marching in! Go marching in! Oh, when the red!
Injuries at Manchester United last season, that's right. Ashraf Hakimi over on that right-hand side, playing in his 3rd World Cup and his 100th cap in the last match.
At some point, Morocco's going to want to get Hakimi high up the field. Nasraoui as well. This is a big part of their game with an attack.
Bono's kick. Then El Canoes, tied it up by Johnston. There was an arm in there, I think, somewhere. Let's have a look here.
Didn't look like much. I will tell you that goal from Alistair Johnston. That is a ball to keep an eye on here tonight. Canada wants to win the ball. 1, 2, 3 passes maybe. Go vertical like that. That was a perfect ball to deliver into his strikers. And hit Jonathan David in the channels. That's an area Canada is going to look to explore.
Well, Jesse Marsh did say that Canada had to go for it. They are going for it. Question is, can they keep this kind of tempo up? Here's Gouadi for Morocco. Unai.
Get it up! Get it up! Get it up!
Yes, the cages have been rattled here. This is very poor enforced error here. Oh, Shea, this turn is just spectacular. Fully extended. He turned out high. And that is an extended left. Look at Jesse Marsh's reaction on the sideline. They want to get rewarded for this good start. 11 minutes in, it's been all Canada.
See Jesse Marsh is under the jeans again today. We talked about that yesterday as well. He's in a little bit of time on the secret. The last game was
That's a quick reminder for how quickly it can happen for Morocco. Safari's always behind the defense.
Bustakia. Jonathan David.
Honestly, this may be their best 12 minutes of football in this entire World Cup. You're rooting against Morocco.
Certainly put in the miles during this World Cup.
Maybe 2.5 because he's been at every game this season.
Brings some calm out there to those involved.
They're smothering them. Absolutely smothering Morocco. They could not get any rhythm back.
Morocco desperate.
This is absolutely wonderful. Head coach Gypsy Morris, this is exactly what you want. You want chaos, you want to run hard, you want to put the ball when you do it. And they put together some really good passes as well. Create some good chances in different ways. Really impressive.
They are unbeaten in their last 33 internationals. Morocco, or that includes the win that was awarded to them in a highly controversial Africa Cup of Nations final against Senegal. And 6 of the games during that long unbeaten sequence. Also at the Arab Cup last December that consisted only of just Arab-based players, but regardless, they are an incredibly tough nut to crack. They know they're in for a game. Allow. Hakimi.
There's going to be a point they'll settle back into it because this type of intense pressure, it's tough to do that for 90 minutes.
Well, I know who was a real standout figure of that AFCON campaign earlier in the year.
Well, he's another one of those guys. Progress the ball. As I mentioned, he had out of pressure, but we really have to give Canada big kudos for the pressure that they have put on the ball here so far against Morocco.
11 touches already they've had in the Moroccan penalty area. Morocco yet to get inside the Canada box.
Really haven't had extended possession in the Canadian half of the field yet.
Hakimi on the charge here, he's getting there. To squeeze it away. That is something that Canada no doubt will be wary of. Hakimi's rampaging runs down that right hand side. He often ends up in an attacking position as well, and he stayed up there actually for now.
Yeah, he's defined the right back role in the world, I think. And you know, when the ball's on the far side of the field, he's also a guy that gets himself into the penalty area who's contesting for crosses. He's on his strength, physical strength and power and running power. Crunching tackle there. Canada certainly understands what he brings. Richie Larea, Ali Ahmed, they're two guys that are going to have to help kind of shut down that left side of the field and be very wary of Hakimi getting forward.
Wadi. Getting it back here from Issa Diop. And Mohamed Wadi actually calls Wadi the midfield brain. And he's a very intelligent young man, not just on the pitch but off it. He's taking a degree in mathematics at the moment. Beyond, that's a good ball taken over run by Starfire. Here's the man in front of Morocco. He's into offside.
Puts it offside from the start. The late flag. That's the man up front. He's at the tip of the spear, Starfire. PSV Eindhoven expected to go to Bayern Munich, I believe. And yes,
Confirmed that move this week.
looks like the offside. But he's always an option. That's maybe a go through midfield for Morocco, or maybe going direct and vertical to him. So many options.
Johnston. Rushed inside for a start.
Using the pace of Jonathan David, Tajon Buchanan, and it's forcing Morocco into conceding corners here. You really got to give a lot of credit to Tajon Buchanan. He has been powering up and down this right side. He has been relentless so far.
Corner of the ground here. They're ready for Canada. We've not hit the 18-minute mark yet. In the way.
And he was completely unmarked. It was kind of a hybrid zonal man-to-man marking. He gets himself a real good look at putting the head on that. It's a little bit surprising.
This is Luc de Fougerolles. Mr. Johnson, who missed a lot of football last season with Celtic due to injury, and there were several members of this squad when they got the call-up that were nursing injuries. Ali Ahmed of Norwich City in England's second tier. A real good end to the season with the Canaries. Eustachio.
I like Eustachio. He's getting balls in good areas. He's getting his teammates involved. He's spreading the game out. Scored that miraculous game winner against South Africa.
Bombito. And the by Oliver Shirley. Buchanan takes over. Eustachio.
He gets to win the game from Nasrawi now, carrying the yellow card. Every game we see this, and we see it in slow motion, and that is tackles where there's no time, they're slightly over the top maybe. He gets a yellow.
It's red one alarm. Correction alarm. He's down again.
There's the hold-up play by Savari. This was at the end of the offside. He's going to be buzzing around. He can play as a winger. He's a dribbler. He's a direct threat with his movement. That goes against Brazil, Scotland, and Haiti, and the winning PK against the Netherlands. You want to know how important he is to Morocco. A heck of a World Cup so far.
Yeah, at the start of this World Cup sidebar, without question. The teammates in Africa next season, among others. Company building quite a squad over there, isn't he, in Germany?
There is.
Oh, now that does not look good. The fact that he pulls his shirt over his face. A change necessary for Morocco. That is a major blow. Will be right up in his place. these finals already, but the loss Wayne Gretzky, NHL legend for Canada, in attendance today. What a player he was.
Talk about technical skill in soccer, well, we talk about technical skill in hockey and ice hockey.
The best.
That is Wayne Gretzky.
Eustaquio's free kick, straight from the throat to Ghana.
Let's just go back to this change inside Laurie. Rahimi is, as you mentioned, very, very good player. He would have made his way onto this game anyway, but that is a big development in this game here today. Saglari going off this early. He has been their leading goal scorer. He's the one they've depended upon to produce goals in games throughout this World Cup on the jury for Morocco. So that is a big blow.
Mazraoui set to find the future role. There he is again. There's a collision there by Oliver. Learn the advantage. Buchanan. You've got to have your eyes everywhere because there are personal battles going on over every inch of the field here, Glenn.
Yeah, no question about it. Every ball is contested with 100% sweat equity here today.
As it should be as well, by the way.
Yeah, of course. John Buchanan is going to the opposite side of the field now. And Morocco is still looking for some attempts on goal here.
Longest wait to have an attempt on goal. This FIBA World Cup as we hit the migration break here.
That's a reminder right there of just how contested and how many duels are going on, as you mentioned, these one-on-one duels within the game, all over the field.
It's that talking stuff, but it is goalless in Houston. Great commitment from both teams, but I think Mohamed Wabi, the head coach of Morocco, was desperate to get to this point because Canada, as I mentioned, have had the rocket.
Well, look at this. I mean, this is the beauty of the hydration break right now for Morocco. You're able to calm your team down, you can have a word with them. This was all momentum Canada here in the first segment before the hydration break, and well-deserved, well-earned. Getting the ball off their feet, and were technically sharp, physically aggressive, which is what they want to do, Jesse Marsh and company, to break the rhythm of Morocco. And they've done it successfully for one quarter of the game now.
Did you calm down there, Jesse Marsh, for a change? Those tactics ball out.
This is a remarkable turn. He had his own shooting opportunity. He did that to the center back, Allah, who replaces Riyadh. So Canada realizes they got a center back in there. That's a different one from Riyadh, from Morocco. But look, you love the Canadian soccer passion. Jesse Marsh is talking about the fact that, we are a country that are still on the ascent soccer-wise. And then you got Morocco, who's been to a semi-final of a World Cup right now, and you've outplayed them here in this first 22 or so minutes.
Saglari is the one hiding away there at the back.
The disappointment for players, whether you're in the lead up to the World Cup and you go down injured, or you get injured in the World Cup, it's just heart-wrenching.
Hydration break over. We await the game's first goal in this, the first round of 16 tie at this FIFA World Cup, and the winner will go through to meet either Paraguay or France July the 9th at the Boston Stadium. And those two teams will play later today.
Well, there's more Moroccan fans here, but I got to say, the Canadians have turned out in good fashion. I like some of their outfits. It suits their hats. It's just a wonderful environment here. The color, the acoustics, everything here in Houston at Houston Stadium.
I should say, Angeles was the venue for their victory in the round of 32. Buchanan. Throwing rising for that one.
And he hasn't gotten going, neither has Hakimi. I think one thing the mid-block that Jesse Marshall's doing, it's forcing them to go longer and go direct and bypass their midfield, which Canada may be very happy with. We'll be alone, we'll play the aerial game.
Friday. Is the deal.
They have not been able to play through Canada up to this point here in the 28th minute in their midfield.
But it was played straight to the Fugeron. Here's Bombito. Marcus got trouble, Rahimi.
How quick you can turn though. You're dominant in every facet of the game. One bad ball turns into an immediate chance, and now all of a sudden you got Morocco pressing.
Elanawi trying to navigate his way around Alistair Johnston. It's a little bit touchy between those two.
It's just how quickly they hit the center forward's feet. And we've seen a lot of goals off winning the ball, off a bad ball, or the repress. Brazil won a game against Japan here that you and I called off pressing moment and quickly finding the feet of an attacking player in Martinelli that night with game winner against Japan. So we all know the importance now in the modern game of just winning the ball near a goal, leading to immediate chances.
Well, so far it has been a performance full of passion from Canada, reflecting that of their head coach Jesse Marsh. The Johnston on the launch pad for them. Here it comes. Towards the Fugeron, who manages to get his head to the ball. There was a foul in there. Free kick.
Well, let me add to passion though, quality football.
Yes.
And Canada's passing the ball cleanly, they're knocking the ball in that wall with some good movement, they've created good chances. So yes, it's passion, but it's being combined with a lot of good quality football, decision-making and movement and clean passing.
As a nation, they're certainly on the up, Canada. Remember, coming into this, they haven't won a single World Cup match in 2 previous appearances, but this has been a tournament where they keep pushing the boundaries, breaking new ground. Masraoui. Turned over. I've seen Morocco do that as much in a game that I have today. They're usually so reliable on the ball.
Yeah, and even dealing with pressure, but today Canada's forcing them into a lot of passing errors. And one of my comments before the game was, yeah, you can get pressure on these guys, but they can get out of it. Well, they're struggling with it right now against Canada.
Let's go, Canada! Let's go, Canada!
Any weaknesses?
Let's go, Canada!
Let's go,
Canada!
We found something with Morocco.
Deal. Hakimi. Morocco at the moment just seem content to try and take the heat out of this.
Yeah, and not seeing Hakimi getting forward a lot, it's an indicator that, you know, they're a bit stalled right now, a bit suffocated by Canada.
They also want to play the game their way, won't they? And they've not been able to do that thus far. Fugeron has had a really encouraging start to this match, I must young centre-back racing across over there.
Not sure why Rahimi wants to just hold him over there. Just slow down, hold your ground, put him against the sideline, and you can get your team advanced up the field and try and get a higher press going. But you give away a silly foul there that probably didn't need to. But he's fresh in the game. He's probably super aggressive and adrenalized.
Scored 15 goals in 23 games for Al Ain last season. Sofiane Rahimi was their top scorer at the Olympics in 2024. He got 18-6. So he knows where the net is. And here he is rising for this, but can't beat it. And Brahim Diaz applying a little bit of pressure over on that side. Brahim Diaz, by the way, absolute quality, but there is a feeling that he's yet to really deliver his best at these finals, despite providing a couple of assists. He's yet to find the net. Mohamed Wabi was asked about that yesterday. He said, yeah, he's not hit the levels yet, but he still brings plenty to this team, not just going forward, but defensively as well, tracking back on that side.
That's the first time you really mentioned him here tonight. That's the thing that stuck out to me. Diaz hasn't gotten himself in the game either. This is right now, I think, total control Canada, but we all know how quickly Morocco can strike. Johnson not taking any chances there. It was a bad ball. It was a bad sequence. Just breaks it up. Allows the rest of his team to get organized now.
Everyone allowed to play. Ali Ahmed for Canada. Eustaquia. Moving there to knocked away by Mazraoui. Mazraoui to the rescue again into Morocco.
Alal's having a bit of a problem with facing Riyadh. I think Canada knows it. They're trying to play in and around him. But he seems a little bit nervous at the back of Alal. Doesn't have that normal fight we've seen in this tournament. He was throwing the game today, he took an elbow and Mazraoui, such a good piece to Morocco. He's not been able to get forward either. Usually mostly Hakimi, but he gets forward as well to get that win on the left side.
Diaz trying to get rid of it for Morocco. Inside the penalty area on Wadi.
Canada are like wolves. They are so aggressive here. In and around the penalty area.
Really from Morocco. It's that one effort from Rahimi that was comfortable to Preto. Usually so slick, so mobile. Usually from Mazraoui.
I think we've seen Morocco act like this in the entire tournament. We did not see this against Brazil. We did not see this in their other matches. We did not see this against the Netherlands. Where's Buchanan? Buchanan's been everywhere. There's maybe two of them.
Well, Johnston ready to launch in this round. Johnston again, after this gets a challenge. Suddenly emerging with it for Morocco, Rahimi. real shame that Saibari has had to leave us. Morocco, as we've seen in previous matches, particularly in the group stages, very quick out of the blocks. And now we just saw on screen Saibari scoring early against Brazil for a goal. Not the first time they've done that, and they've been flying out the traps against Scotland as well, but Canada have just not allowed them to.
Get it up! 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 Get it up!
They're carrying out the manager's objectives here. And it's causing real problems for Morocco to find any sort of tempo and rhythm.
There is a term in football, isn't there? Defend from the front. And that is exactly what they're doing. It's not just about the back four, it's about everyone else. You know, you look at Jonathan David and Oliver Sherry, the way that they are pressing their centre-backs, that's helping the midfield players and those behind as well.
The back four's at a pretty nice time. When you got a hard-working midfield in front of you, that's the key to There's the long ball. This plays pretty much in the rain. And the Ray is the innocent in that one for me. It's frustration. He can't get himself going. I don't see how much of the lay rights are going there. Just don't see it.
Was the clear. And Al-Khanou showing interest in this. Johnston looking to defend it. Who knows, maybe that flashpoint might just wait. Al-Khanou submits the foul there on Seagull in midfield.
Al-Khanou's another wonderful attacking player. We just haven't seen anything out of him. We haven't seen anything out of Diaz. They're constantly involved in these duels like this.
Bombito. Well, that's wasted. And still no touch in the Canadian penalty area for Morocco. They had 62 such touches in the first half across their 4 games of this tournament, but they've just got nowhere near. Canada rather protected that penalty area so well.
Midfield of Canada has really stood up today to the midfield of Morocco. I think that's where it all begins. Makes it easier for the through. Two front players are working extremely hard. They're cutting off passing lanes. It's all coming out with mid-block here. And as of right now, you just see Morocco trying to figure out how to get through this team. This is where Canada squeezes them and forces them back. It's just beautiful organization.
McKeegan. Diaz.
That was better for Morocco. Diaz,
Back to where they started.
yeah, getting the Diaz. Well, they were, but at least Diaz was showing for the ball and trying to get between the lines and you just have a vivid picture of it here.
A lovely turn from Brahim Diaz. He is surrounded by he was impeded.
He's got to show what they need. They need Diaz getting on the ball, turning people. We got a structured midfield game plan going here from Canada. Well, one way to break it, the individual is the best killer and breaker of lines and organization is the individual player, and that's what Brahim Diaz is doing here. This guy can turn on a dime and it just explode. So he's got to show up for it. He's starting to come alive a little bit.
Shown to Donovan David for the challenge on Diaz. A chance here for Morocco to ask a question at long last of this Canada back line. Heavy's free kick. It goes towards Dion, who pushes it down to the Joey Red. And David looking to head into the path of Gloria. Quickly in on Rabibi.
Great marking from the Fougeron. Denying the turn, not going to let him turn and face him. Two young guys, that's a nice future forward looking right there with those two center backs.
Well, the big message from Canada before the game was play the game, not the occasion. And they've carried out that perfectly so far. And Wabby with plenty to go on the horizon. It's so interestingly the Morocco coach yesterday that if they played to the levels that they have done so far, they would not be good enough to take them through. This has been one of the poorer efforts from his team so far. But they are a frustrated bunch just now. You can see it in the body language.
Well, they can't get a rhythm going either. They're a more possession-based team than they were when they got to the semifinals in Qatar in 2022. And they're more of a tempo team, less of a vertical, deeper defending team. And they can't get it going. The ball is not the midfield. Canada is chopping the game up. They're breaking the rhythm. They've had good moments of possession. And really, their tactics that have been employed by Jesse Marsh, they're lucky. Can they do that for 90 minutes? Can Jesse Marsh and Canada do this for 90 minutes? To just not the passion and emotion of the managers, the players, the fans, it's all been great. This is our seventh game we've bought here at Houston Stadium. We haven't had a game that hasn't brought some level, incredible storyline, interest, quality play, local stars. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Real privilege to be here.
Let's go Canada! Let's go Canada! Let's go Canada!
Always showing knocking it down. Jonathan David showing interest in this, but for now at least, getting arms length by perspective that they're not getting the rub of the green here in terms of the decisions.
as if I missed a little bit. That's a free kick. Canada's taking Moroccan fans out of the game here. They're a little bit
those deafening piercing whistles that we heard at the start of the game have disappeared.
That's a big inning for coming out for Saibari.
Morocco really need their big players to step up and get in the game here, and certainly now is one of those. He's not the only one in Moroccan white. Always Gay. But that's rally. Clear him down fair.
Great cover from Zouari to get back and getting to a good cover position.
Toronto FC, Mustachio. Just couldn't work it in from that far touchline, and now the ball is on for Morocco. That's Hakimi who pushes it through. El Khamouz now.
Canada got back behind the ball in the blink of an eye. 7 players, full sprint towards their own goal. It's that kind of selfless, collective running that's important on a day against Morocco. Highly impressive.
Unai. Bouadi.
What is just amazing to me. It's hard for me to understand he's an 18-year-old. He's so mature for his years.
Well, he's used to the big stage. He became the youngest player to start a European match. He played for Lille in the Conference League at just 16 years of age.
What do we think of Morocco? Shit! What do we think of shit? Morocco! Thank you! That's all right!
He's not just a lifeguard, but he is a central figure in this team at 18 years of age. That's a different thing. He's playing in one of the most vital positions in the game. He's a holding control in midfield. He's only 18 years old. That's a position where you have a lot of decisions that have to be made.
With a free kick. Added on time at the end of this first half. Michael Oliver brings the goal down. It's been the underdog in this goal. Who really rattled Moroccan cages. And the semi-finalists of 4 years ago have struggled to get a foothold in the game, and then Jabler losing Ismail Saibari to injury in this one. But Jesse Marsh would not have asked for any more from his team. At the break in Houston, Canada 0, Morocco 0.
c'est ça. Désolé. Oh, oh. C'est ça le QR code. Est-ce qu'on peut prendre une photo avec eux?
Can we take a picture with you guys? Let's take a picture. 1, 2, 3. So you can scan that QR code, and if you can get up on the screen.
Yeah.
Who do we want to see? I just have to fix my.
C'est you? Jonathan Lee? C'était magnifique le match. C'est incroyable, c'est très difficile.
Should we give a little love to
Jonathan
David?
David. Yeah. Jonathan David.
A few messages from our sponsors, and we'll be back.
We want Monty! We want Monty! We want Monty! We want Monty!
Be part of the excitement with the FIFA World Cup 2026 50-50 draw. Every ticket purchase helps support grassroots soccer programs and young Canadian athletes while giving you the chance to win big.
The group stage is very hard to watch the games. But I did everything I could to motivate them and keep the motivation off the pitch. Step on the pitch was unbelievable. To be able to step on the pitch with my teammates, my brothers, and not go fight through that game was something special. I thought about that moment in 2018 after I heard the speech. I was at home, minding my business, and then I got a phone call from my agent. He's like, FIFA wants you to the Park Road, Canada, Mexico, and USA, bid for the 2026 World Cup.
It's a great honor to speak to you today. My name is Alonzo Davies. Today, I am 17 years old.
Once I started saying my story, I felt natural, and I just told my story how it is.
I was born in Ghana in a refugee camp. It was a hard life. But when I was 5 years old, a country called Canada welcomed us in. And the boys in the football team made me feel at home.
Football was always part of my life. I always dreamed about playing for the national team and playing in front of the world stage and playing in front of thousands of people.
I'm a proud Canadian citizen. The people of North America have always welcomed me. If given the opportunity, I know they'll welcome you. Thank you.
To see it come to life, I think my men are going to be very proud of himself now and look at himself and say, you know, this is what you do, and we're doing it, and you know, just got to keep pushing. When I was 2, 3 years old, I had the ability to walk. My feet were straight. So I had to wear sort of machine that can really do the whole day during at night. So I couldn't sleep, but my mom used always to pick me up so I could sleep in her arms. So she didn't have a lot of sleep back then. So that's why I thank her always, and because of her and God, of course, I can now walk, run, and my parents raised me never quit. To work on the obstacles. I think I always have the confidence in myself and my abilities, and of course, you have the good players around you to do everything I can. I support the film what they're doing, and I always have faith in God, and that's what I do, and it is good. I'm very honored to be on the Moroccan scene. I think it was a childhood dream, you know, on the biggest stage in my country, and I'm very grateful.
I don't know what the next step is for Canadian Hero, but I want to get there and find out.
Looking back on that match, I think actually the Southern Coaches their game plan, which was to keep medium ball up, let their center backs have it, and they were not going to beat us back there. stuck with that and found a way to play very much. It was a very well deserved reward after I got it.
C'est vrai qu'on a tout de suite trouvé des solutions pour pouvoir bien expliquer aux joueurs quel était le plan pour la deuxième mi-temps et même qu'après ça, on a donné le match.
I watched them play Scotland, Brazil, and Haiti as well. It was not an unbelievable team. We know exactly how threatening it was, the challenge that we're actually really looking forward to, and we also think that we can pass them bottom as well.
C'est le Canada, je connais, le coach, je le connais, c'est une équipe qui a posé d'autres problèmes, il faut trouver d'autres solutions, il va rien récupérer, que personne n'est imbattable aussi. Et je le répète encore une année.
We're a difficult team to beat. We know that when we're at it, we bring a level of athleticism that's difficult to match any team around the world. And we can be such a threat to teams.
Quand on voit la pénalité tirée, donc voilà, on est très content, très calme aussi. On arrive à gagner des matchs, on continue, on bosse, on travaille, on s'améliore. La prochaine match après, c'est un autre problème, c'est une autre solution, c'est un autre scénario.
We still believe that we have a fighting chance, and we're going to go out there and give it our best game. If we can find a way to win it into the last 8 and keep dreaming from there.
Viva San Simon!
Do we want a certain someone to come out in the second half?
Would be a flyable I would love to have heard what he had said and some of the things, how they can get back in this game. But I just think movement, mobility, insistent defense has got to come to life here. While they're attacking technical players, they've got to come to life here in the second half for Morocco. You can't think that they're going to go 90 minutes without a margin with their tempo and limits. Watching the same, I think they would want here in the second half.
And a reaction in the second half against the Netherlands. Why was particularly satisfied with their opening period. Certainly they came to the fore in the second half. Now can Canada play at the same intensity as they did in the opening half? That's what Jesse Marsh will be looking for, of course. He looks to take Canada for the first ever quarter final. 4 yellow cards for Morocco in that first half. The most yellow cards by any team in the first half at this particular tournament. 6 yellow cards overall.
Although score is testament to what Canada did. Very, very frustrating for Morocco. Morocco dealing with it. And they're a team that has a really strong mental backbone. And to see that effort like Canada frustrates the real confidence in the Canadians, maybe they inform their tactics.
No changes from either side at half-time, so it's as you were. But Morocco did lose with the start in that first half. As Safari going up in here.
Let's go Canada! Let's go Canada! Let's go Canada! Let's go Canada! Let's go Canada!
He's a very dominating center back. He's played exceptional in this World Cup. And to have him out of this game for a while, it's a drop
making out his fifth appearance for the national team today. The centre
Doesn't have the experience of leading.
Buchanan looking to return it to it. Benani switching the play. That's a good ball. Hakimi. Didn't see him get forward too often in that first half.
The Ram have done a great job of sealing him off, and they also didn't have the ball long enough for him to get forward.
Interesting player, Richard O'Rea. He is a right back predominantly, but plays almost exclusively at left back for the national team.
That's the beauty of versatility. We've seen him do that in Major League Soccer. He's on Toronto FC, Orlando, teams like that. He had a brief spell at Nottingham Forest, I remember. Didn't appear there a lot, but he's got energy. He's fast. I mean, that energy is important to have on that side of the field with Hakimi. To be versatile like that is trying to squeeze it through to Jonathan David delicately. And Morocco responded. Here he is breaking out from that. And it looks like it was eventually slightly offside as he reads it there, but nonetheless it's another corner for Canada. Not only the first ball, let's look at the second.
Backyard playing it on the deck for Buchanan. Ahmed. O'Rea. Put in there towards as usual. Couldn't get hold of that in the way that he got it out. People are very impressed with him, though.
20-year-old has been exceptional. Speaking of mature beyond his years, I think he is.
And now he's trying to stop the newbie from causing a problem. He has conceded a free kick and he has got a yellow card. So that's going to go to the commentator there.
Yeah, very different game now for him. That's where you don't want to be as a center back. You don't want to have to come out laterally and cover guys that are quick and good one-on-one players. It's a lonely place to be if you're a center back. And to not be a shallow part now, that's a big deal because he's going to have to play the game very, very differently. And that's going to be in the back of his mind a little bit that he's carrying this yellow.
All blot on his copybook this afternoon. Ashraf Hakimi on set-piece duty for Morocco. Play square and that's it! Change the conversation. Now they are trying to finish it. Morocco in front in Houston.
It ends up being a fatal concession of a free kick. I mean, this is just going up beautifully. This is a great strike. It goes through a maze of bodies. Delivery from Hakimi. We've seen this in the modern game a lot now. From now he delivers. Just look at the maze of bodies this goes through. And the heads-up play from Hakimi to let it go through his legs and not make contact with it. That is a huge goal for Morocco. They needed something big. They needed a platform. have to lay down. This game could change dramatically here.
And now the atmosphere has changed after that. Morocco scoring with only their second attempt of the game.
Their entire bench ran onto the field. It was incredible. I'm sure the traveling secretary might have been amongst that as well.
Yes, they might have been.
Just the emotion and the passion of it. It's a body blow to Canada because I think they started the second half, well again.
Tenth goal for his country. A man on the ball here. Leading Mesraoui. El Canoes. Mustachio for Canada. By way of response. Larea. Coming well from the slip. Diffusion. Alistair Johnson of Celtic. Buchanan. Wrestling low. Jonathan David. Celtic are calling 2 minutes as to what to do. Only partially so. Now Hakimi can get Morocco moving. Off he flies. Hakimi's chopping inside on Aliana. Larea. Trying to take on Bawani, who's having none of it. Larea runs out of real estate. Also cross.
Speed with Hakimi runs with the ball at his feet. Straight out flat speed, but running with the ball at your feet. A bit like stride for stride with him. Him and Richie Larea have had to do the defending of Hakimi, but he's now starting to come to life a little bit here for Morocco. All of a sudden they get a little bit more time on the ball, a little bit better possession after the goal.
Goes up on Rahimi. Well, they found their voices again, haven't they?
No question. Canada did an amazing job of taking this really pro-Moroccan crowd out of the game in the first half based on that performance under Jesse Marsh. But the Moroccans are back now.
Wabi.
See, this is what you didn't see in the first half. People getting out of pressure, getting a little more time and space on the ball.
Yeah, they're a different team now.
Canada's still in this, without a doubt. And they're going to continue to try and play in this mid block, and why not? Just see though they're a little bit more desperate to chase the ball, and it's just opening more and more space up for Morocco, and that's where they can hurt you.
That's Robbie was there in just the right place for Morocco.
The wrong choice. It was Jonathan David who needed that ball.
Diaz on the break. Rahimi, El Canoes arriving on the far side of the box, and he's furious that he wasn't picked out.
Good block. Fast attack. Canada looked in a great position to get a good shooting opportunity. Goes in transition the other way, and now we'll have to defend this corner.
One move all started by Brahim Diaz, who spun away beautifully from the challenge of Nico Seagull in midfield.
You and I talked about he's got to emerge in this game.
Let's see what they've got up their sleeve this time from this corner that Hakimi will take.
They always go to the near post. Morocco just loves near post delivery.
Oh. Going to make something of this with Struggle. Be a goal kick to Canada. All the language there of Jesse believe what's happened. Just a momentary lapse from that corner, and they have been breached. And before that, they just haven't been troubled.
Such a game of momentum, and goals have so much power to change games.
Lorraine. Future on.
And he's a definite target for the Bombito.
Yeah, he's walking.
This will be left for Alistair Johnston to take.
The long throw that's made its way back into the game in a big way. Not many teams that don't utilize a long throw-in on some occasions.
Here it comes. That's right. As far as Eustachio. Canute's been boxed in over there.
That's a great little clip into the channel here. There might be a question if Buchanan was offside. There is a push, goes down rather easily, and he's slowing himself down to initiate the contact. But this is a great little ball here. Alistair Johnston. Maserati went down kind of awkward on his neck and head.
Will be a free kick for the offside that was given just prior to the little bump that Buchanan got from Allow. Eustachio, Buchanan, Seagull. Johnston. As usual. Seagull for magic split. Now it's Canada with nowhere to go. Roles have been reversed.
Yeah, I like the way they broke the pressure though, and got Morocco to drop it off. Now Morocco's really interesting. They made a very dedicated decision to find and recruit players from all over the world. 23 and 26 on this roster. Well, they were born in Morocco, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Spain, and Italy. Only 3 on the roster in Morocco. I mean, that combined with the real domestic push of some of these coaches, this has been a plan to get where they are. As you've seen, one of the players that have come out of this has been Wadi.
Well, double change here for Morocco.
They got a defensive master coming on here.
And Sofia Amrabat, yeah. And El Padus is one of those withdrawn. And the teenage talent, Ayub Wadi, also on. And the Sunderland man, James D. Talby, is the other to make his entrance.
Tough day for El Padus, could really get it going. I'll be remembered as one who hit that tremendous ball deep in the tiny goal in that Netherlands game.
Larry, who's on for Canada.
Well, that's an attacking option, so Canada's got to find goals.
Somewhat in order to get there. This is the goal scorer from Morocco, Nahi, leading Mazraoui. Sweeps it over. Free draw behind it. Brahim Diaz. Nicely done. Beautifully worked back. Free draw. Almost get away for Canada. Brahim Diaz scampers away. Plenty of options in the middle. That's Rakadimi maybe on the left of the run, which we've seen many, many times before. And this one has gone Morocco's way.
So Diaz is coming back here in the second half. This has been a really good thing for Morocco. And this is the stuff that he can do. He's passing balls to people's legs, the tricks, the flicks, the ability to get turned. But getting him on the ball and seeing him active and involving others, that's a very, very good sign for Morocco here. We didn't see that at all in the first half.
So Canada trailing, this has not been a venue.
Canada!
Two games in this stadium. Canada! Quarter-final, David scored in that game. And also defeat against Mexico in the Gold Cup semi-final 5 years back. Amrabat playing it through the lines. And pushed forward again by Nahi, looking for Rahimi, who felt it was foul, but Michael Lavelle interesting.
Bambino might have gone away with one there. But that's something you never saw in the first half. Two passes that broke lines like that directly into a striker. Never happened once in the first half.
He's trying to get right into the against Mazraoui, but the flag was up anyhow.
But just working down his left-hand side, it's an obvious offside ball. Not much you even need to say. This is the goal. Wrapped his right foot around it, kind of got a bit of a curl on it. Hazelbach's in front of Crapo, and that's your game-long goal. And you get it from Unami, to the delight of the Moroccan fans.
Yeah, he was one of the standout players at the last World Cup for Morocco as well. I remember the then Spain boss, Luis Enrique, reserving special praise for now he was the goal that splits them here.
He was born in Morocco, in Casablanca. A very exotic, great city.
One of course is Buchanan. They've a bit of a scare.
Here's Hakimi here, and he's just trying to shield defenders off.
Well, they lead by a goal today.
Why did we sub off?
Well, the last time that Gussie Marsh can gather his troops to try and get the required response. One last push from Canada. Try and find a route back into this one, Glenn.
Yeah, it's an interesting moment to see how these two teams come out after this. But you brought Kyle Larin on, you got to supply your strikers, you're going to have to take some risk at some point and commit a few more people forward.
The 18th minute, just one attempt at goal. And again, this is the goal.
Yeah, it's a great job by Rahimi to let it go through his legs. But I think this is a set piece you have to know about, right? You've studied Morocco with all the data and everything that goes on these days in scouting opponents. And I think that's what might be a little bit disappointing to Canada, is that he got a decent run up to that without a lot of real pressure. Off a corner, square back by Rahimi. Nonetheless, a good finish from Unahi, and it is the game's lone goal. And it came to the point where, you know, you were wanting to see can Canada do this again, and then after that, Morocco really gained a lot of confidence through the goal. Got their crowd back in it. Really looking at Maxime Franco, hasn't been really tested that much here today, to be fair. Canada has 7 corners to work for Morocco. You wouldn't have thought that going into this game, probably. You could probably see Jacob Chappell who would come on, and he's been lights up for Canada at some point.
Well, Adrian Peterson is here, former NFL running back. Very business by the looks of it. Moroccan throw, which scored in there.
Let's go Canada!
This is the longest score in the competition. Desperate for one now. Intent on trying to keep this fairy tale run going at these finals.
We want this!
They've been impressed with Stefan Eustáquio and his distribution in midfield and just some of his confidence at certain times in this game. And of course, he had that volley against South Africa that got him through. So maybe he comes up with some magic here in this final phase of this match.
Ashraf Hakimi of Paris Saint-Germain in for Brahim Diaz of Real Madrid. He made one appearance for Spain, Brahim Diaz, but switched allegiance a few years back, which has been a real bonus for Morocco to have a player of that quality available.
Like I was saying before, they really made the Royal Moroccan Football Federation a concerted effort to go around the world and find those that were eligible to represent Morocco. They went to every country, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Spain, Italy. And then heavy domestic investment in academies and infrastructure. So they're doing it both ways.
And they will be co-hosting the next edition of the FIFA World Cup as well. And having covered the African Cup of Nations just gone, they have the infrastructure, they've got the stadiums as well to be able to deliver it big time. Of course, Morocco, having been in this situation before, know exactly what it takes to win a knockout game. They are streetwise, and despite being rattled in the first half, they've looked much more like their own former selves since the restart. Eustachio. David in that pursuit. Allow moving to guard it back to Yassin Bono. Amrabat will add that extra layer of protection now just in front of that back four for Morocco.
And that's 100% a defensive move for stability. What a World Cup he had in 2022.
Covered over 50 miles of that tournament, I was reading the other day. Something Amrabat. Lorraine.
Seagull. The whistling's back, which means the Moroccan fans are back.
Wow, that is some noise going on in my headphones right now.
Well, Buchanan has worked hard. He's got to continue to push it out here. Second ball is important here. You got to win the first one.
Alistair Johnston lining this one up again. Pumped away by Mazraoui. Seagull. To come and punch it away. Morocco not in the clear as yet. Ahmed. Oh, it's a full touch from Anahi. Eustachio as well.
It's a wonderful flick. Initiated outside the box to set up a dangerous free kick, but the elusive nature there of Eustachio flipped it over a defender and into a very dangerous set piece and a hug from your teammate. Just a sea of Canadian fans. It's almost a free kick that has to distraction to midfielder Malik Tillman, who did that from a little bit more of an angle against Bosnia.
Just for Canada, Thomas David. Come on.
Both attacking players, both will bring a lot of energy. There was a good angle to Seagull will launch it back in. It's an awful angle for Thomas David. Well, that's the option he's going to bring in the air. That was a two-handed push. That's an obvious foul.
Certainly no relation of Jonathan David, Thomas David.
He's 6'5", he's going to be a target. Here's the quick turn and the quick hit. That was coming from Dejan Buchanan. Full stretch Bono. Haven't seen a lot of long-range shooting here today. But as you mentioned, Kyle Aaron could have been an option to his right. Easy to say from up here.
Certainly got plenty of firepower out there now. 50 yards with Thomas David, Kyle Aaron, Jonathan David. Into the final 10 minutes we go. And Canada now playing for survival at this FIFA World Cup. Stefan Eustakio with the free kick. Into Jonathan David. Mazraoui is winning. Eustakio again. Way by El-Anawi. Oh, nothing now for Canada.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for Morocco. And they're just going to throw everything they possibly can. They've got all their attacking players on. They're just going to have to be careful at moments like this in transition.
I know he moved that.
Well, Jesse Marsh decided to throw everything at Morocco. The danger's always going to be committing players forward. This team, their breakout capability can be frightening. This is an amazing transitional moment. It's a second on the night for Onai. He is the star man here today. This is the back end of this breaking out. Now it turns into basically a 4-on-2. You might think it's over here. And Diaz cuts it back and just is able to poke it to Onai, who spears it in. But look at the attention Diaz draws. And he kind of scores it almost from the same area he got his first one. And it's a similar type of hit. He wraps his foot around it. And It's a second for him. It's going to beat Prevo. It's going to bend from outside the post back in. But that is an incredible example of transition football. I thought it ran out. I thought it had run its course. And then Diaz is still able, because of his great skill, to find Unai.
2 goals from just 3 attempts in this match for Morocco.
That's efficiency. And some teams in the world have that, others don't. That's just simply your ability when it comes to having finishers in your squad. Some teams just don't have that. Some teams need 5 chances to get 1.
Mustachio. And certainly Morocco got the break of the ball there, that's for sure.
I don't know if he thought he was going to get a near post run there, or if it was just delivery that didn't work out the way he wanted it.
Well, as mentioned, it will be Brazil, Paraguay in the quarterfinals in Boston on July the 9th. Comes over again, and Bono is able to play from the cross that Johnson put in there. And potentially a semi-final against Portugal, Spain, USA, Belgium. Looking for it. Repeating. Off the front of the goal.
Unahi with an incredible ball. He's a one-man wrecking machine right now. He's got the 2 goals, put it on a platter. Rahimi.
Buchanan cutting it back at the other end. Headed for a double corner.
This is just floated in delicately. He's onside. Prevo's beaten it. Beats everything but the bar. But again, it's these transition moments that are going to occur.
Buchanan on the go. Shackelberg. Buchanan. Shackelberg, another poor delivery. Seagull. Clear by Masraoui. Jesse Marsh there saying to Jacob Shackelberg, just calm down a little bit. Got himself into 2 really good crossing positions, Shackelberg, and the quality just wasn't there. Mustachio puts it in, Diop with the header out. Foul by Masraoui on Jonathan David, and more alterations here. And Morocco bringing on couple of reinforcements. Mohamed Sadan, who was called up to replace the injured Naya Baguer. He is on, and Issa Diop is off.
Jonathan Osorio and Jake Nelson making their way out of that Super Canada. What is he going to do? Changes all around here.
Yeah, Morocco's got the 2 goals today. Nice departed, Azadi, Unai, Mustachio delivering, and punched. Nelson is just on trying to recycle it, but collision inside the box of Michael Oliver, a stop play.
Promise David. Striker trying to get there. Bono maybe gets a little bit of a piece of him, but that's bravery all around from both players. Thomas David getting looked at here. As well as Bono. That's James Nelson. He's made his way on. Plays his club soccer not far from Houston, Texas, and Austin, Texas for Austin FC in the domestic league of the United States Major League Soccer.
There is the man of the hour. Hasn't even known he the first Moroccan to score twice in a FIFA World Cup match since Saladin Basia in '98 against Scotland.
And he just wraps his foot around it, as we said. Gets a good angle, and all the architecture is done by Brahim Diaz. It was a transition moment I thought might have petered out. It might have been ended. Diaz drew two, but with that great technical skill, is able to nudge it over. And Unai delivers the goods. Then a second goal. But efficient finishing here today, timely finishing, all things you have to include for the coach Mohamed Douabe in Morocco. And we say all of this after a brilliant first 45 minutes from Canada here today.
Some paracetamol after this. My ears are ringing. What a noise the Moroccans have made here today. Well, Canada throwing everybody up for this. It's Stakio. Out to Shackelberg. Arcing deep. Pushing that well, and Mazraoui has hacked it clear for Morocco. He's got through a lot of work, Mazraoui.
Yeah, tough rugged defender, one of the great leaders from Morocco, experienced. Still making sure that they finish this match out. If Canada were to get one here, they could make it interesting.
Brendan Nelson. I think Jonathan David was expecting that to come his way. And Pito giving it back to Grove. Canada need to show some urgency. Playing 8 additional minutes now.
A lot of time.
Nelson. That's well there. Really fired it.
Handball, I think, there. Kyle Aaron.
Well, if he does it this way, there will obviously be a disappointment. However, what a learning curve this must be for Jesse Marsh and these players as they try and build again for another major tournament. They've made significant strides here as co-hosts of the tournament. It's battle going on in the corner. They're really looking to ripple out, but that's being ruled in Canada's favour.
This has been a prideful, very brave performance here today from Canada. Tactics they employed in the first half. To be fair, they're going to lose today if this holds a scoreline 2-0 on the transition game of Morocco, showing their versatility, not on the possession game necessarily. They've been able to disrupt that. And again, if they could pull one back here, they would make it very interesting. It's just getting closed down on every single turn and opportunity by the Moroccans now.
Well, anyway, will do for Elanawi, just happy to hammer at power play. Nelson. Shackelberg. And Nelson trying to get.
Give him a lot of credit, a lot of energy coming off and into this game as a substitute.
Almost 3 minutes gone of the 8 minute. The goalkeeper is up. It's in Grupo in the penalty area. And the referee sees something in that Morocco free kick.
Something we've seen him do in prior times. And this one going to the back post. Very often you see two goalkeepers that close together. He adds a little bit of drama and excitement to it here. But Canada's still pushing to pull one back.
David got that under his spell. Johnston. Jordan Nelson.
I do think, Paul, that Canada, that first 45 minutes, during your best times, you got to score goals. I think they had some real good chance creation, real good opportunity. They had a very rattled Morocco at that point. And to get the game's first goal in that first half could have made this a very different complexion in the second half. That said, Morocco came to life timely with their goals and efficient.
Well, that is the expression of players and fans who know that the dream is slipping away.
Deflected one, and it is a corner to Canada. Defense Greco again will make the field. That's your star man. Munahi, pair of goals. Delivery. Running back the full end of the field again.
A route into the penalty area then, but Nelson might. Shackelberg. Is he fouled? Yes, he is. It would be the first time the host nation has failed to score in a match at this World Cup if it ends this way. Time very much Canada's enemy now. Approaching 6 minutes. Goal of the 8 added at the end of this. Stacker and Rogers one off. Nelson takes a shot. Triple goal! Number 3 goal. Johnston who tried to lift it over Bono, but he's split wide.
They tried to lob it to the back post, just kind of didn't drop for him. It was a good effort. Canada's fighting bravely here, trying to produce a goal that could make it interesting, but I'm relative the score is kind of the expression on the faces of the Canadian fans here right now.
Shackelberg.
Just ran into each other. Nothing in that.
Moroccan fans ready to celebrate here. Haven't been at their vintage best, but certainly turned it around with their performance in the second half. Of course, it's tournament football, it's just about getting through.
And there's so much attacking talent in a team like this. That's one of the ways you can get back in games, even when you don't play your best, specifically to have individuals that can get things done.
Well, they might not be finished. Joaquin Diaz.
Ismail Saibari, the big star striker for Morocco. He's gone at it all night long. He's battled defenders. He's broken out in transition. And now he gets his. It puts an exclamation point on this result. And Rahimi delivers the goods here. But it has been an exhibition of transition football here today for Morocco and their head coach Mohamed Dawabe. Here's the breakout. He peels off to the back post away from the ball. It's wide open. Way to the pass is perfect. Finishes clean. It's Diaz again, who we said had to emerge in the second half. Well, these two become very pivotal, along with Unawi today here from Morocco. And like we said, we got players of this quality. The goals can come at any moment.
They're a contender, absolutely no doubt about it. Morocco very much in the hunt to go all the way here. And they have taken another stride forward because the whistle has gone. The World Cup moves on from Houston and Morocco move on. The Italians, the top team, to their place in the quarterfinals of this FIFA World Cup. Shukran Rahimi with the third goal. With victory. So it's pretty much set up like Azzedine Alahi with a fabulous brace here. 3-0 perhaps a little harsh on Canada there. Excellent run at these finals. Comes to an end at the round of 16 stage. And it will be Morocco who go on to Boston to face either France or Paraguay. It ends here. Canada 0, Morocco 3.
Not on the possession game necessarily. They've been able to disrupt that. And again, if they could pull one back here, they would make it very interesting. It's just getting closed down on every single turn and opportunity by the Moroccans now.
Well, anyway, will do for Elanawi, just happy to hammer it power play. Nelson. Shufflebird.